thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Fellow Toastmasters, what is in a name? It's a question which Juliet pondered in the famous William Shakespeare play, Romeo and Juliet. And of course, Juliet's great answer to that was, well, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. But is this also true for Toastmasters clubs? Do club names make a real difference? Now, in my country, Toastmasters clubs have names, just like your club has a name, ArtTalkers. We have, for example, the Bicycle Toastmasters Club for cyclists, the Christian Toastmasters for people who want to celebrate their Christian faith, and even the Environmentalist Toastmasters for environmental people. One of the most popular club names in my town was B&B Toastmasters. Any idea what this could mean? Bachelors and bachelorettes. It was singles Toastmaster, and one of the rules of this club was if you got married, they kick you out of the club. Well, today I'm going to try to answer that question, what's in a name? And I'm going to give you 6 examples of Toastmasters clubs around the whole world and the members who are attracted to them because of the names. Now, the first type of club is the Snobbish Toastmasters. Now, the Snobbish Toastmasters, these are people who are very arrogant. They don't care about you, they care about them. Now, Snobbish Toastmasters are very arrogant and haughty, and very often they're not even listening very much to your speech, except when you make a mistake. And then they roll their eyes or they clap very sarcastically. Now, sometimes they even get together in a group and they laugh at you after your speech. Well, one positive thing about the Snobbish Toastmasters is that you never have to worry about being a member because nobody will ever invite you to join the club, but they will toast your departure. The next type of club are the completely corrupt Toastmasters club. Now, the completely corrupt Toastmasters, they will pay money to win a speech or a table topics, typically under the table. Hey, Johnny, vote for my speech and this 20 is yours. Now, of course, they do try to reform and to become better. For example, one completely corrupt Toastmasters club, they made an anti-corruption suggestion box. But the only problem with that idea was you had to pay to make a suggestion. Now, typically, there will be 1 or 2 members who are honest persons in the completely corrupt Toastmasters club, but these people are not loved by the group. They can never win a speech, and at the end, they are paid to leave the group. The next group are the Mafioso Toastmasters. Now, Mafioso Toastmasters, they often have very interesting titles and topics for their speeches, and with useful information. For example, how to make a tunnel under a bank. Mafioso Toastmasters are sometimes difficult to identify, which can be not so easy for the evaluator. Hey, Johnny, is that you as the speaker, or is that Freddie? Sometimes it's also difficult as speaker to get points for your facial expressions. Totally corrupt Mafioso Toastmasters, they also have a risky position, evaluator, because if your evaluation is too negative, it could be the last evaluation that you ever make. Philosophic Toastmasters. Philosophic Toastmasters are people who love to get together and talk endlessly about their first love, philosophy. Philosophic Toastmasters meetings often begin very late because before they can begin the meeting, they have to answer the question, does our club exist? Philosophic Toastmasters evaluators have a double difficult job because the evaluators not only have to evaluate the speeches on the content and the style, but also the meaning and the purpose of the speeches. Now, there is one group of Philosophic Toastmasters that have easier job, and they don't have these problems. They're called the Nietzschean Philosophic Club, and they believe that eventually there will be a super Toastmaster that will come and lead the group into the future. Traditionalist Toastmasters. Traditionalist Toastmasters are Toastmasters that love folklore and traditional culture. They often come to the meetings in traditional costumes. Sometimes the meetings take a long time because they feel that they have to dance and celebrate after every speech. Traditionalist Toastmasters believe in traditional roles of the man and the woman. But don't worry, there's a new group called the Progressive Traditional Toastmasters, and they have updated these old images. Traditionalist Toastmasters have a difficult role, and the role is the ah counter, because the ah counter, he never really knows. Did the speaker make a prolonged ah, or was it a yodel? Yodel. Traditionalist Toastmasters are a very happy group, and they will welcome you back with a big beer. Finally, we come to the sleepy Toastmasters. Now, sleepy Toastmasters are Toastmasters who come directly from work. They have difficulty keeping their eyes open. Sometimes they even can't focus on your talk, which makes it very difficult for the quiz master to answer the quiz questions. Very sleepy Toastmasters will often ask you, please wake me up when your talk is over. And sometimes even the speakers have trouble staying awake. By the way, the phrase of the day for sleepy Toastmasters, good night. So finally, fellow Toastmasters, we come back to the original question of my talk. What's in a name? And the answer, well, if it's a Toastmasters Club name, a lot. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.